beginning lecture, already I have discussed about Faraday's law, Faraday's first law and Faraday's second law. Okay. So now I am going to discuss about the effect of dilution. Okay. It's a small topic, but it's very tricky. If you will see, because here we are going to see about if you are going to dilute the electrolytic solution, then how conductivity is going to be changed. Kappa equivalent means molar conductance is going to be changed, and equivalent conductance, that is going to be changed. It's a very important thing. Just understand one thing. If you will see what is the meaning of dilution, first I am going to define the dilution. Dilution means if you have to add the solvent. If you are going to add solvent continuously, then that process is called as dilution. Means you are going to make the concentration of solute tending to zero. Okay, concentration of solute tending to zero means very small. You will see after dilution the concentration of solute will be very small, just like 0.0005 molar. All these things you will see. Okay, so that was the dilution part. Now think what is going to happen after the dilution. Okay, so if you want to see, then I have denoted the kappa. This is called as K, and this is called a specific conductance. It is called as specific conductance or conductivity. It is called as conductivity. When you are going to dilute, after dilution, if you will going to check, kappa specific conductivity decreases after dilution always. If you are going to dilute the electrolyte, then always it will decrease. Conductivity decreases means kappa decreases when you are going to increase the volume of the solution, electrolytic solution. Okay, so only you have to remember these things. Nothing you have to be focused about that. Now understand, kappa is going to be decreased. Okay, this is the same, and already you have defined kappa molar, that is equals to kappa into 1000 upon m. This was kappa molar. It means molar conductance is directly proportional to kappa. If you are going to increase the volume, then kappa decreases, so molar conductance would also decrease. But it's not like that. Molar conductance doesn't used to decrease when you are going to dilute the solution. Understand one thing. Kappa decreases, but molar conductance is not going to decrease, or equivalent conductance is not going to be decreased after dilution. Why it is happening? I am going to tell you the reason. Understand the reason why kappa molar or kappa equivalent, that is not going to decrease after dilution. So if kappa molar or kappa equivalent is not going to decrease, then what will happen with kappa molar and kappa equivalent? So it will increase after dilution. Understand how it is going to be increased after dilution. It's major concern over here. I am discussing the effect of dilution on kappa m. Effect of dilution on kappa molar. My dear student, understand one thing. In electrochemistry, we have to discuss about electrolytes and already I have classified the electrolytes in two parts. First is a strong electrolyte and second major part was weak electrolyte. Now, understand one thing. What will happen? So, what will the effect of dilution on a strong electrolyte? Conductance of strong electrolyte means molar conductance of a strong electrolyte, kappa equivalent of a strong electrolyte, and for weak electrolytes separately we have to study over here. These two parts that we have to discuss now. I am going to discuss about the strong electrolyte. Understand what will happen in case of a strong electrolyte. Okay, I think up to this point you have clear now. I am not going to discuss about the definition of electrolyte. Okay, so if you will see, just understand, I am again giving you, I am recapitulating you the definition of a strong electrolyte. Okay, so if you will see, a strong electrolyte, so one thing that should come in your mind, that is there is a strong intermolecular forces of attraction that will be acting between the strong electrolyte. Okay, so means this, for a strong electrolyte, you can write it, for a strong electrolyte, degree of dissociation, just understand, that is equals to 1. That is, alpha that is equals to 1, or you can say that alpha is equals to 100%, means degree of dissociation tending to 100% or 1. Just like understand, if AB is a strong electrolyte and it is gonna be dissociated after passing electricity, without passing electricity it is not going to dissociate, so it will be getting dissociated into A plus and B minus. Now understand one thing, initially if you have taken 2 moles of AB, after passing electric current, then you will be getting 2 moles of A plus ions cations and 2 moles of B minus ions and ions. Okay, so why? Because it is a strong electrolyte, and a strong electrolyte is highly dissociable, so it is going to dissociate in that number of ions inside the solution. Okay, so you will be getting same number of ions in the solution as it was his progeny. Okay, so now understand their progeny. Now understand one thing, what will happen? Now, if you are going to dilute, if you will see, if you will see, okay, now understand one thing, what will happen here? This is cation, this is anions. Okay, this is cations and this is anions. What will happen when you will supply the electric current? What will happen? The AB will get dissociated into A plus and B minus. Okay, after dissociation, now what will happen? Understand one thing. Due to the increase in if you are going to supply the electric current, what will happen? It is not going to dissociate. Already it is 100% dissociable. Number of ions in the solution is not going to increase. Means number of ions of A plus and B minus is not going to increase. Then how the conductance, molar conductance is going to be increased? Understand one thing. Because number of ions is not going to be increased. If number of ions would be increasing, then what will happen? Due to this particular region, number of charge carriers will get increased, and if number of charge carriers is getting increased in the solution, then what will happen? The electric current per unit time or flow of charge per unit time will get increased. Due to this particular region, what will happen? The molar conductance or equivalent conductance should increase, but here number of ions is not going to increase. So what will happen? What is the driving force for the increment in the value of molar conductance or equivalent conductance? Understand the reason. Why? Because if you are going to dilute the solution, then understand one thing. If here there is A plus ions, if there is B minus ions, okay? Here is A plus ions, here is B minus ions, and since it is a strong electrolyte, there must be an electrostatic force of attraction between these two ions. And this electrostatic force of attraction, if you have studied in Coulomb's law, force of attraction F of Coulomb's law is equals to K Q1 Q2 upon R square. Now, if you will see, F is inversely proportional to 1 upon R square. If you will dilute the solution, then what will happen? The distance between the ions will get increased. If distance between ions will get increased, then R square will get increased. Then force of attraction between the ions will get decreased. Force of attraction between the ions will get decreased. If force of attraction is gonna be decreased, then what will happen? The ions will get the distance between the ions will get increased, and initially ion was there. Now the ion will become here. Okay. Now, force of attraction, the magnitude of force of attraction is going to be decreased. So, what will happen? The moment of ions will get increased. Means they won't be feeling any restrictions about themselves, so that they will get restricted for their flow. Okay. So, the transport of A plus and B minus will get increased. The moment of A plus and B minus will get increased. And already you know how you can define the electricity. If current is rate of flow of charge per unit time is called electric current. So the moment of ions is getting increased. Due to this particular region, what will happen? The conductance increases. Means here we are discussing about only molar conductance, equivalent conductance. So the molar conductance or equivalent conductance will get increased. I think up to this you all are clear how molar conductance and equivalent conductance of a strong electrolyte increases. Why? The reason behind that I am telling you in a very concise way. Understand one thing. If you are going to pass electricity in a strong electrolyte, in that condition, what will happen? Number of ions is not going to be changed. If number of ions is not going to be changed, then number of charge carrier is not going to be changed, either increase or decrease. Then what is the driving force that will support the increment? Where there is incremental value of molar conductance or equivalent conductance. So the driving force there is the migration of ions. Why? Because due to dilution, the distance between ions increases, and due to this increase in distance, electrostatic force of attraction will get decreased. And if electrostatic force of attraction is going to be decreased, then what will happen? the migration of ion will get increased, and this results in increase in equivalent conductance and molar conductance of strong electrolyte. Okay, this was the reason. Okay, I think up to this point you all are clear now. Okay, now understand one thing. What is how we can calculate empirically and theoretically, because which types of numerical will come from this topic also. Okay, so understand one thing. If you will see I am going to discuss one topic, one small topic here. And I am telling you if volume tending to infinity, then concentration tending to zero, and these 2 points is called as the infinite dilution point. Infinite dilution point. These 2 points will be called as the infinite dilution point. Now you can ask the question, sir, how volume can be infinite? It's practically possible. It's not practically possible. Why I am writing volume tending to infinity? Understand what is the reason behind that? Because already I have told you the size of electrolytic cell is used to be very small. Okay, so if the size is very small, then how volume of the electrolyte will be infinite? It's practically possible? No, it's not practically possible. So what will be the infinite dilution point for this electrolyte? Okay, so understand one thing. Just understand. I have told you, in case of a strong electrolyte, if you are going to dilute the electrolytic solution, due to this particular reason, what will happen? The equivalent conductance and molar conductance will increase. Okay, so it will increase. So understand one thing. I am taking volume in milliliter, and here I am taking kappa molar, or you can take it kappa equivalent also. Okay, I am taking these two values. Now understand one thing. If you are taking volume in milliliter, just understand 2 milliliter volume. The kappa molar is equals to 1.07. If you are going to increase volume 2.2, kappa molar becomes 1.5. If volume is 2.4, kappa molar becomes 1.75. If you are taking volume 2.5, then kappa molar is going to be 1.90. If you are taking volume 3, okay, now kappa molar becomes equals to 2.07. Now if you are taking volume 3.5, 2.072. Now, if you are taking volume 3.6, 2.0721. Now, if you are taking volume 3.8, 2.07211. Now, if you are taking volume 2, then it will become 2.07211. Now, at volume 3.8, what is going to happen? You can see at volume 3.8 milliliter, the equivalent conductance or molar conductance value becomes constant. It's not going to increase. It will become constant. Then understand, this point will be called as the infinite dilution point, and this volume is called as the V infinite. Okay, and this volume is called V infinite. So practically, we can define the infinite dilution point of electrolytic cell is the point or the volume corresponding for which the equivalent conductance and molar conductance value is not going to be changed. That point will be called as the infinite dilution point. Okay, so I think up to this point it is very clear now. And here the value of conductance that you have calculated empirically, that is called as kappa molar m or kappa infinite m. Understand one thing, I am telling you the meaning. I think up to this point, what is the meaning of infinite dilution point? You all are clear now. You all have studied. Understood, I think. Now understand one thing. Kappa molar m or kappa infinite m. What is the meaning of this point? This sign. Understand? I am writing here. It shows molar conductance at infinite dilution or zero concentration. I am writing this point is called as infinite dilution point or zero concentration point. Meaning is same. You don't have to be confused regarding whether it is zero concentration point or it is whether it is infinite dilution point. The meaning is same. You just have to understand the basic things. What is zero concentration point or infinite dilution point? At which the volume corresponding to which kappa molar or kappa equivalent is not going to be same, that point will be called as the infinite dilution point. Okay, so I think up to this point it's very clear. Just jot down fastly. Okay, now understand one thing, how empirically we will calculate these things. Okay, because at infinite dilution point, what will be happening inside the solution? And for a particular concentration of electrolyte, how will we calculate the equivalent conductance and molar conductance for the strong electrolyte? Understand one thing. So scientist has calculated these things empirically, and how these things can understand one thing. So he has drawn a graph while taking kappa molar or kappa equivalent at y-axis and root over C at x-axis. Okay, this was the same. So he has started measuring the kappa molar or kappa equivalent inside the electrolytic solution for electrolytic solution at a different concentration. So he has seen the graph has like in this way. Graph was a straight line having negative slope and had some intercept on y-axis, and this point, understand one thing, on the x-axis this is the concentration axis and this is the kappa molar or kappa equivalent axis. So if you will see in this graph, then you can understand this graph is going to cut at y-axis, then the concentration must be 0 here, and if the concentration is tending to 0 or 0, then that point is called as infinite dilution point. So this value of conductance, equivalent conductance and molar conductance will be called as kappa infinite 0 or kappa molar infinite. Okay, so it will be called as limiting molar conductance. Limiting molar conductance. If in the question it is written that the limiting molar conductance of electrolytic solution is this, means you have to understand the molar conductance or equivalent conductance of the electrolyte at infinite dilution point. Okay, that's why I have written here that is called as the limiting molar conductance. Okay, now if you will see this graph, then you can find this graph is a straight line having some positive intercept and a negative slope. So there must be an equation of a straight line. So how will we define the equation of a straight line here? So kappa molar at any particular concentration, that was equals to, there is a positive slope, so I am positive intercept, so I am writing it as kappa molar at 0 concentration minus B root over C. And this equation is totally empirical. You can't calculate this equation on the theoretical basis. Okay, so you just have to remember this equation. Okay, so kappa molar at any concentration we are going to calculate for a strong electrolyte, that is equals to kappa naught infinite 0 minus B root C. Okay, so B is any constant that will be also given. It is a constant that will be given, and it has also calculated empirically. You can't calculate theoretically. Okay, C, that is the concentration of electrolytic solution. Concentration of electrolytic solution. It is limiting molar conductance. LMC you can write it, limiting molar conductance. Okay, so if in the numerical, if this data is given, just understand one thing. If the graph is given, then this will be called as kappa naught molar at this point, and the slope is equals to B. If in the graph you have calculated slope and intercept, just substitute these things, and at a particular concentration, just like I am writing here, 0.1 molar concentration will be in the molar form, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. That 0.1 is root over 0.c. The value of is like that. Okay. So if you will calculate, then you will get this value. Okay. Now, at a particular point, you can get the kappa molar at a different value of concentration for different unit. Okay. So, at any particular concentration, you can calculate this. Okay, from the graph. So, if the graph is given, then just calculate the slope and put the slope will give you the value of constant, and intercept will give you the limiting molar conductance. Okay. So, sometimes they used to write the equation in the form kappa molar at any concentration equals to kappa molar infinite minus B root C, or it can be also written kappa equivalent at any concentration equals to kappa equivalent at infinity minus B root C. Anything that will be given, just you have to understand the basic things. What is the basic equation of the limiting molar conductance at a particular concentration of a strong electrolyte? Okay, and this was the relation. Okay, so the question can be asked in this one. Now, this was the strong electrolyte, okay, and now I am going to show about the weak electrolyte, because this was a strong electrolyte, and in case of a strong electrolyte, it was highly dissociable. So the degree of dissociation for a strong electrolyte is 1. That's why we got a graph of a straight line having positive slope, intercept and negative slope. So in case of weak electrolyte, I am just going to discuss about the weak electrolyte. If you will see weak electrolyte, then already you all have studied in the ionic equilibrium topic weak electrolyte and strong electrolyte. And if you have not studied ionic equilibrium, so just go through our website or our YouTube channel Samarthya classes, and there separate video on the ionic equilibrium as made by Himanshu sir, and he has explained everything in very beautiful way. If you will be studying that topic from ionic equilibrium from the YouTube channel, then definitely you will be able to get understand everything. He has solved so many numericals there. Okay, so he has explained in a very beautiful way. So just go through the YouTube channel and study first that thing. Okay, now understand these things about the weak electrolyte. In weak electrolyte, you will see if it is a weak electrolyte AB, I am assuming, so it is going to dissociate into A plus and B minus. So if you want to see the examples of weak electrolyte, it can be CH3COOH. Weak acid, weak base is the perfect example of weak electrolyte. Okay, generally you can remember that thing. Weak acid and weak base. CH3COOH, it is acetic acid, LCOOH, formic acid, all these things. Okay, so you can remember these things. Now understand one thing. It's feebly dissociable. It's the degree of dissociation for weak electrolyte. Degree of dissociation is very less than 1. Okay, so if you see alpha will be very less than 1. So it's a very you can see in case of dilution what will happen. Already if you you have a little bit knowledge about ionic equilibrium, then you can understand if you are going to dilute the weak electrolyte, then what will happen? The degree of dissociation used to increase. The value of alpha is getting increased. Okay, so if alpha is going to increase, then what will happen here? Understand one thing. After passing electricity, if you will understand, okay, just connect the circuit with the help of cell. Now you are putting weak electrolyte here, AB. Now after passing electricity, what will happen? AB is going to be dissociated. So number of ions you will get A plus and B minus. So it's not 100% dissociable. So if you will see here, then if initially it is number of moles 1, it will be 0 and 0. Now at any time at t equals to t, then what will happen? It is going to be dissociated in 1 minus alpha mole. So alpha moles of A will form and alpha moles of B will form. Okay, because stoichiometry says if any A number of moles of AB is 1, then according to stoichiometry, number of A plus is going to be alpha and number of B minus is going to be alpha. I think up to this point you all are clear now. Understand one thing. Alpha is very less than 1. Now, if you are going to dilute, then what will happen? Due to dilution, the value of alpha increases. Degree of dissociation increases if volume is increases. Understand one thing. If volume is increases, degree of dissociation increases. Means you can understand these things. In this particular electrolyte solution, number of charge carrier will get increased. If initially it is AB, now after dissociation, after passing electricity, after dissociation, it will get converted into A plus B minus. Now again you are going to dilute this electrolyte, then again you will get more and more A plus and B minus. Okay, so per unit volume the charge carrier is going to be increased. Okay, because due to dissociation number of ions getting increased and it is charge carrier, so conductance would increase. So molar conductance will increase. One factor is that. Now you are going to dilute the solution. Due to this particular reason, what will happen? The distance between ion will also increase. So two factors will work. I am just roughing it out now. For weak electrolyte, two factor works. Works for weak electrolyte. First factor is alpha increases if volume increases. Second factor is distance between ions increases if volume increases, and if distance between the ions increases, then what will happen? That intermolecular forces of attraction, you can understand, A plus B minus will get minimized, means the magnitude of intermolecular forces of attraction between ions decreases and if due to decrease in intermolecular forces of attraction, the migration of ions, cations and anions will get increased, and the movement will get fast. Okay, so the moment, if the movement of the ions is getting fast, then what is the meaning of that? That is the meaning of increase in the conductance, na? And we are discussing about equivalent conductance and molar conductance. So that results in the causes increase in the conductance, molar conductance value and equivalent conductance value after the dilution. So you have to remember 2 points. What is the region that after dilution the equivalent conductance and molar conductance of weak electrolyte increases? The region behind that is due to dilution, alpha, the degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte increases due to increase in volume. Okay, first, so number of ions in the solution get increased, and due to this region charge cation will get increased, and that causes increase in the conductance, molar conductance and equivalent conductance value. Now distance between ions increases due to increase in volume or due to dilution, so the force of attraction between the equivalent strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte will get decreases, and cations and anions will get decreases, and due to this particular region migration of ions will get increased, and which causes increase in the value of equivalent conductance and molar conductance. Okay, so my dear student, here there are 2 factors, that was the 2 driving force that is working for in case of weak electrolyte. Okay, so now how we calculate empirically these things? So I am going to show you the graph. In case of strong electrolyte, we have seen a graph of a straight line. Okay, but in case if you will see concentration versus kappa molar or kappa equivalent, if you are going to see the graph, then this graph used to be rectangular hyperbola, and it becomes asymptotes for on the kappa molar or kappa equivalent axis. Okay, so it is going to be asymptotically, and it becomes parallel to the y-axis, and on y-axis we have assumed the value of kappa molar and kappa equivalent. So here it is not going to cut y-axis. So how will we calculate the limiting molar conductance at infinite dilution? That's the great problem. We can't calculate directly, or empirically we are not getting that value. So a scientist has come that was the pioneer for the calculation of equivalent conductance and molar conductance at any particular concentration or at an infinite dilution for weak electrolyte, and we will be calculating with the help of Collados's law. That was the scientist who has given the value for the theory for the calculation of a kappa molar or kappa equivalent at any particular concentration or at infinite dilution for weak electrolyte as well as a strong electrolyte. This theory is applicable for both strong electrolyte as well as weak electrolyte. So just don't get confused. If anyone is telling you kappa, we can use Collados's law for only weak electrolyte, it's wrong. We can use Collados's law for both a strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. If nothing is given for the strong electrolyte, then you can apply Collados's law. Okay. So generally we used to calculate the kappa molar equivalent or kappa molar or kappa equivalent for weak electrolyte with the help of a strong electrolyte. Okay. With the help of Collados's law. Collados's law, what Collados's law say, understand one thing. So in this theory we used to study. I am just writing the name because it's very confusing. Collados's law, and I am here writing in a bold letter. It is applicable for both a strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. It is applicable for both strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. Okay. So I think this graph is very clear to all of you. So this was the problem for the calculation of equivalent conductance and molar conductance at infinite dilution for weak electrolyte. So understand one thing, what Collados's said. So if you understand, there is a CH3OH. CH3COH. So after dissociation, it will get dissociated into CH3COO minus plus H plus. Okay. So if you know the value of, you have to calculate the kappa molar note of what? CH3COOH. Then how will you calculate? Because it is a weak electrolyte, it's very difficult to calculate. Okay. So it will be calculated with the help of a strong electrolyte. So understand one thing, how will we calculate? So in this case, we are going to calculate this CH3COONA. Okay, CH3CONA and kappa infinite for CH3CONA is equals to, just assume A, and kappa infinite for HCl, that is equals to understand B. Okay, and kappa infinite for NaCl is equals to C. This will be given, so you just don't have to confuse. How will we proceed about the weak electrolyte? Understand one thing. We have to calculate CH3CON. So how will you calculate CH3CON? If CH3CON is going to be dissociated, then understand I am writing here CH3CON. If it will get dissociated, then it will produce CH3CO minus plus Na plus. Now, if HCl will get dissociated, then it will be producing H plus plus Cl minus, and if NaCl is going to dissociated, then it will be producing Na plus plus Cl minus. Okay. All these are strong electrolytes. So the value of kappa molar and kappa equivalent for all these things will be given. You don't have to be panic about that. Already I am given the value, and in the question that will be given. Okay. Now understand one thing. We have to calculate CH3COH. The value of CH3COH. Okay. So how will we calculate? So if you will add all these things, then in that condition what will happen? Here is CH3COH, CH3CO minus, and all these things. So now understand, subtract these things. If you will subtract, then it will get cancelled out from here. So you will get this and this. Okay, CH3CO minus and H plus H plus, and after that you will calculate. So how we calculate? So if you want to get CH3COH minus plus H plus, then what will happen? You have to add these two, and after adding these two, you have to subtract this one. So I am assuming it first equation, this is second equation, and this is third equation. Okay. So I am adding first plus second and subtracting to third. So you will get CH3. You will get CH3CO minus is equals to, here the value of A is given is A. Here the value is B, and here the value is C. So you will get A plus B minus C is equals to kappa infinite of CH3COH. Okay. You have got kappa infinite of CH3COH, that is equals to A plus B minus C. Means what Colorado said? Colorado said the equivalent conductance and molar conductance at infinite dilution for a weak electrolyte, that is equal to sum of equivalent conductance and molar conductance of their individual ions. That is the main thing. And in case of individual ions, just understand one thing: HCl was a strong electrolyte, NaCl was a strong electrolyte, CON was a strong electrolyte. From here we have shown we have just make three equation, and after subtracting equation third from equation first plus second, then we have got the equivalent conductance and molar conductance of CH3COH minus. Okay. So my dear student, already we have calculated the kappa equivalent or kappa molar equivalent at infinite dilution for weak electrolyte as well as strong electrolyte, both theoretically and from the graph also. Okay. So I think up to this point we have completed the electrochemistry today, and thanks you all for supporting me each and every day. My one suggestion to all of you is that just go to each and every video which is uploaded on our YouTube channel. If you are going through all these video, so many video that has been uploaded on my channel. Just like if you will see the chemical equilibrium, Himanshu sir has explained very well. Electrochemistry, solution, ionic equilibrium. There are so many topics of organic chemistry that has been covered on our YouTube channel. If you just go through that channel, then you will be able to get very, very important topics from there. Okay, so that will be very very helpful for incoming examination. So just go through that video and solve the questions from the Cengage book. Okay, in the next lecture I will be discussing numericals on the electrochemistry. Okay, so thank you all for today. Okay, for my last lecture.